What's up, everybody? This is Sam Shady with Shady Sports Network, and today I just wanted to ask you for a huge favor. We're growing very quickly thanks to all your guys' help, but I've got a little request for you guys, and all that is to hit that like button. So basically, the way the YouTube algorithm works is if they don't see an asinine amount of likes on each video, we will not grow. We will not be pushed out to new viewers. So without your help hitting that like button, subscribing, clicking those notifications, making sure you hit like on all these videos, we can't grow as quickly as we'd like to. So with that being said, please help support Shady Sports Network today by hitting that like button. It's completely free, doesn't cost you a thing, and in turn, it helps us continue creating great content for you to consume in the future.
All right, what's up, everybody? Today we have a very special guest, a very large guest at that. This is Joe Kaleta, offensive/defensive lineman, most recently with the Fan Control Football League. How are you doing today, Joe? And I appreciate you joining me.
Doing pretty good. Appreciate you guys having me on. How's everything going with you?
I definitely can't complain. About ready to get back home to Colorado from Florida, actually. So today's the day I fly out. Can't wait.
Nice. I'm sure you're enjoying some sunshine though in Florida.
Definitely, it's been beautiful while I've been down here for sure, and just excited to get back home to my boys for sure.
Definitely.
So let's start with a brief introduction into yourself in your own words, and then we'll kind of get into the questions.
I'm Joe Kaleta, 6'9", 350 pounds, tackle guard, and like you said, if needed, could play nose tackle. Went to Coastal Carolina University, spent some time with the Browns, and if you name a league, I probably played in it after that.
Well, yeah, you're well traveled. We'll put it that way. But I mean, in my eyes, that just shows your passion for the game. You were looking for every opportunity to keep going, and that's exactly what coaches should want. A guy who's gonna do whatever it takes to stay in football.
Yes, definitely. Like you said, just finding a way to keep my foot in the game, and blessed for every opportunity I've had so far, and I'm not stopping now. Ready to go for some more XFL, USFL, NFL, CFL. Let's get it.
No doubt, no doubt. So I'm curious, at what age did you get involved with football, and what kind of drew you to the game?
I started a little late. Most people start, maybe when they're like about 9, 10. I didn't start till about sixth, seventh grade. It's funny because like you said, so big. When I was younger, I couldn't make the weight. When I was younger at Pop Warner, I was too big. They said I could never play. Then finally, sixth grade, they upped it up the weight, and so I got 1 year of Pop Warner. Usually people get 3-4 years. I got 1 year. In seventh grade, I played middle school. In eighth grade, I was already on JV. Like you said, I'm so big. Eighth grade, they thought I was already in high school, so I was playing junior varsity in eighth grade, and I went from there. And so yeah, I went to high school in upstate New York, not too far from Syracuse, Utica, New York, and high school. And like you said, played a lot of defense in high school, and never played offensive line. Played nose tackle. Did pretty good for myself. Had about 40 to 50 tackles, a couple sacks, one more recovery at nose tackle. And then that's when I started playing off. Then they always told me I was so big. My senior year I was 6'7" already, about 290. Right now I'm 6'9", about 350. And then they told me your D-line days are still there, but you're probably going to have to play offensive line in college. And that's where I started playing offensive tackle and guard.
Very interesting. So you kind of breezed right through it, but that's all right. I wanted to highlight your versatility. So I mean, you basically did that perfectly just now by showing that you were a pretty competent nose tackle before they moved you to the offensive side of the ball. So it's kind of interesting to hear that you had that size, and that was part of the reason why you got moved. I mean, I would think on the defensive side of the ball, that's also an asset. So I'm kind of confused or kind of interested into what led to that move.
Yeah, like in high school, my job was we ran a 3-man front, and they just told me my job was throw the center into the quarterback, and if the ball's there, go get it. But my main job was to crush the center 3 yards back and disrupt the play. And then, like I said, linebackers would come home free. But yeah, as soon as I went to college, went to Washington State. They actually recruited me as a nose tackle, and what led to that was went to Washington State, and we were down a couple offensive linemen, and so the offensive line coach said they were so full at nose tackle, and they said, "Why don't I give offensive tackle a try? You could get some reps in practice," and that's what led to me playing offense. And ever since Washington State, probably day one, day two, they were like, "We're going to try offensive tackle." So the head coach comes up to you and says, "This is what you're going to play." Not too, you go with the flow, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially at that point, Washington State's not a small school, so definitely one of those situations where you're like, "Hey, coach, I'll do whatever you need." So as we just talked about, you kind of end up playing defensive tackle in high school, which I thought, like I said, was very interesting. I mean, a man of your size, that sounds exactly what you want at nose tackle in my mind. How did you feel about your performance in that year we talked about when you had 40 tackles, 1 sack, and a fumble recovery?
Yeah, I felt really good. Like I said, I was like you said, just with my size and advantage, my long reach arms, with my long arms, I would just straight bull rush and crush the centers, and I always felt my advantage with my size. I always had it, and if I didn't make it, just put those long arms up and tip that ball. So quarterbacks didn't like me too much.
There you go. Yeah, that's one thing quarterbacks never like is pressure up the gut. So definitely a solid nose tackle is always an asset to have. But you're also a very adept at offensive linemen. So talk to me about your recruitment process. What schools were interested in you at the time when you left high school?
Yeah, I was talking about Washington State, um, New Mexico State, Rutgers, Buffalo, Syracuse, a lot of schools up north on the East Coast because I'm originally from New York, and then but yeah, it came down to and then after that, just Washington State was showing the most interest, and later on in the recruiting process, and the defensive coordinator Chris Ball, who actually is the head coach uh, at Northern Arizona right now, we have a very good relationship. We talk often. He told me he was gonna promise my parents he was gonna keep an eye on me and take care of me. That's a long jump from New York to Washington State. Never been there, never knew anybody, and he kept his word and always treated me like family over there. Washington State, Chris Ball, and like I said, him and me are still in touch nowadays. And that's a couple long. That was about 12 years ago, and we're still in touch today. So always kept a healthy relationship, and maybe he said one day he wants me to come coach with him. So I'm gonna look into that. And yeah, just guy from New York on all the way up to Washington, and took the chance, and it was a good opportunity. Coach Wolf, I always appreciated. He was the head coach at the time. I always appreciated him getting me in, giving me opportunity. And what happened was when he got let go on the staff, a new coach came in and was okay with spring ball, but I just wanted to look elsewhere, and Coastal Carolina University gave me a blessing with to transfer an opportunity, and it worked out pretty good. We won 3 conference championships at Coastal Carolina. I played guard and tackle, played some nose tackle for them, and then got my NFL shot with the Cleveland Browns.
Absolutely. So we'll just kind of go right down to there where you were with the Browns. How did that opportunity come about? I mean, was it a connection you had on the coaching staff, or did they just like what they saw?
Like they like what they saw. To be honest with you, it was kind of funny. I worked out for a couple teams and interviewed with a bunch of teams that year. I played in the Gridiron Classic, and interviewed with a lot of NFL teams. They watched me at practice, and I didn't speak to Cleveland once before I went to camp. So that was the as soon as the draft ended, uh, the Browns called me and was like, "Hey, you didn't get drafted, but we're going to give you a camp opportunity." And it was like I was like, I wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure I wasn't a prank phone call at first, because I was like, wait a minute, I don't even have their number. I never, because most of the guys before the draft, they give you their area code at least, or be advised, hey, this number might call you during the draft. And then I called my agent to confirm. He's like, yeah, they just called me too. So I was like, all right, we're going to Cleveland.
There you go. Very interesting. So you played under two offensive line coaches while you were there, Andy Moeller and his assistant George Deloney. Both of these guys have basically coached offensive line longer than you or I have been alive. Do you believe that they taught you anything that helped you throughout the rest of your career?
Yeah, like you said, just with the experience, they had that old school grit, and they always, they gave me that old school grit just to be tough. And obviously, I went to camp, and after I got let go, but just they always had me live with that grit, just be tough no matter what through the situation is good or bad. Every day is a good day to keep going no matter what. And I feel like you said we talked earlier in the beginning, and just I played in every league, just keep going no matter what. So I always lived with that grit. So if that was one thing they did for me is hang in there and be tough. If you love it, you'll find a way.
Agreed, agreed. So one of the things that I found very interesting about your career is that after the time with the Browns, you end up with one of the most decorated Arena Football League teams of all time, the Tampa Bay Storm. Actually, not far from where I'm at right now. How long did you spend with the Storm, and what was your experience with the team like?
Oh yeah, full. It was great operations. Full professionalism, and yeah, the general there was NFL Hall of Famer Derek Brooks. So I got to meet him, spend some time with him, and be around him. And just yeah, it was. I was there till about week 4 in their week 5 in their franchise, and yeah, it was pretty cool. We were playing in the Tampa Bay Lightning Arena, just to be around in that area. Beautiful, like you said, beautiful Tampa, and gave me a. I was the young cat in there with all the veterans. Probably I was in my early mid 20s, and you're probably arenas usually older guys. So I learned a lot being around there, being around the older guys and learning the game, and it was a great experience. And but it just happened to be mid-season. They like their vets now. Now I understand that more. They like their vets to keep around in arena. So I was a young guy back then, but so right now, if I knew what I knew now, I'd be the vet. So, but too bad. Unfortunately, AFL is not around. Maybe I'll come back one day.
Agreed, agreed. That is one of the things that I wanted to ask you about as well, but we'll get to that in a minute. In 2018, you get your first taste of football built on armchair coordinators, which I thought was kind of interesting that you end up playing in two different leagues where fans are able to call plays. Um, how did you feel about the Your Call Football League and how their premise worked as far as the outdoor league?
Yeah, I thought it was a great thing, and like I said, just about the AFL. Unfortunately, that league went 2 years, and I got the opportunity to play in those 2 years with head coach Mike Sherman. You talk about a guy with experience, Brett Favre, and just being around him and Merrill Hodge, Pittsburgh Steelers legend, and just to be around all that, and it was just we're playing with Super Bowl champions. Um, BJ Daniels was playing quarterback, running back from the Baltimore Ravens. It was just great experience. But yeah, it actually worked. We'd be in the huddle, and so what happens is in York football, if people aren't aware of it, what happens is the fans are actually voting our plays. So we'll be in the huddle. They got the technology in the booth, and they got it on the quarterback, just like the NFL has the speaker in his helmet. And obviously the huddle's a little longer because they're waiting for the fans to vote the plays, and then when they get to play, the quarterback calls the play. Well, so what it is not they're not just picking random plays. It's all plays that we actually practice, and we were all familiar with the plays. And once they get the voting in, then the system, the guy on the computer data alerts the quarterback with the players. Then we run the play on offense.
Very interesting. I mean, I can't imagine going from the regular coaching style where you have an offensive coordinator to a system like this. It's got to be quite the adaptation.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, basically, yeah, like you said, it gives the fans the opportunity. Everyone's on the couch watching NFL and college and saying, "Oh, they should have called this, call that." But now you're on the hot seat. Let's see what you got. You always say calling out the coaching staff every weekend. Now the fans are up, so it was a good opportunity for them to see what they really got.
Agreed. And it's something that the Fan Control Football League kind of adopted and has perfected in my mind. And it's something that's extremely fun. So, I mean, if you guys haven't checked that out, if you're not aware of the FCF, make sure that you go check it out, get the app. It's well worth it. I had a ton of fun calling plays this season and following along, voting for all the awards, all that stuff. In my mind, the FCF is revolutionary, although your call football is kind of where it all started.
Fan control football. So obviously, like you said, Yorko football was the outdoor voting, and then fan control football. I just played in that recently. It was an awesome league and full professionalism and treating us great. Johnny Manziel, Tara Owens, and a lot of other NFL plugs in there, and they treat us great in there. They kept us in Atlanta, Georgia. You know, fed us great, and I always appreciate them for the opportunity. And it was a very successful season. Next year, I'll be coming back.
Absolutely. So this may not be football related, but I came across something I found interesting about your career. I found a page promoting you as an actor. Is there an eventual career there where when you hang up the cleats?
Yeah, I got into some already. I did a episode of Ballers with The Rock, so that was a pretty cool opportunity. Down to earth, just like you and me, just talking right now. You go to Hollywood, you see all these actors that are Hollywood jerks, and that was definitely not The Rock. The Rock was down to earth. He's got that athlete mentality, just chill, relaxing, and just shooting it like he's not the biggest Hollywood star in the world. And that was. I met a lot of celebrities, obviously. I don't, if people aren't aware, I do a lot of stuff for like bodyguarding for celebrities, and not saying people are jerks, but and I met a lot of people. But when I got into that room when we were doing the show, it was funny story. I'll make sure. So we're on set with HBO Ballers, and I got there probably like 2 hours early. I'm calling my rep that got me the gig, and I'm like, dude, no one's here. He's like, dude, you're like 2 hours early. And I was like, I don't know if I'm at the right place because you would think somebody was here. And all of a sudden, I turn around. It's The Rock. I go to my rep. I was like, I'm at the right place. I gotta go. And he's coming in with the director, and I waved to The Rock. He's like, "Hey, how you doing, big guy? He doesn't know me. He's just being nice." He said, "Hey," and the director goes, "Real Rock, I thought you were big. This guy makes you look like a small fry." I'm like, "Oh no, gonna get this guy pissed off already." I was just like, "Oh, hey, nice to meet you, man." He's like, and the director's just like, "Dude, he makes you look tiny."
Oh man, that's hilarious. I mean, Rock is definitely not a small guy. I believe he's 6'3" or 6'4".
Nah, they got him about 6'5" right now. So yeah,
Oh
yeah,
wow,
yeah,
wow, man, that picture makes him look smaller for sure. The picture that's on Twitter of you two together, so that definitely was kind of interesting to see.
yeah. And that's the story for the grandkids. The biggest Hollywood star. Yeah, the director came in and said I made him look small.
Absolutely, definitely.
And
Um,
yeah, and so I done that, and like you said, I've always been playing football. But yeah, it's been one of my passions to get into more of that. So some auditions could be coming up. Been in talk with some shows that I've been doing bodyguard stuff for. So down the road, yeah, definitely would love to get into more of that, maybe commercials and stuff. So, but yeah, it's a good opportunity.
Definitely, and that's actually one of the things that the FCF brings to the table. I think they seem to help promote their players pretty well. So hopefully you can get some opportunities in that world as well, and still keep playing football as well.
Yes, sir, definitely.
So you spent some time in the IFL with the Cedar Rapids franchise in 2019. How did that ultimately end up comparing to the FCF?
Yeah, it was good. It was a fun time out there. What the thing was, it was a faster pace because with the HUD, we're waiting in the fan control for alignment. They like that in fan control. We're getting that air there, but IFL could be quick. But it was a good opportunity. Uh, I'll be honest. The team, there was it was a tough year for them, and then after that, the franchise folded. But it was a bunch of new guys put together, and I just got opportunity. I just wanted to play offensive line and kick some butt. I got a lot of film that year, and I think that's what put me out there. A lot of just me kicking a lot of butt that year, and overall we didn't have a very good year, but there were some good guys I met there, and a couple guys I'm good friends with nowadays, and but overall that I think that made my career keep going. So I think the people that got me that opportunity in Cedar Rapids, and unfortunately the franchise folded, but I got in there, and I felt like I did very well, dominated and held my ground, and so it was a good ordeal for myself.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the things I try to always tell guys is you never know what opportunity is going to open a door for you somewhere else down the road. So you always want to look into everything, at least do your research beforehand. But definitely, it looked like the IFL opportunity was ultimately something that opened some doors for you as well.
Definitely, and yeah, for everyone that gave me the opportunity, and the GM that I knew well, so I appreciate that. His name is Reggie, so thank you for that. And yeah, so like you said, every opportunity once you go, you got to take full advantage of it, and that was definitely exceeded that, and then some. So it was great.
Agreed. So you end up joining the FCF, and depending on who you ask, you were the best offensive lineman in the league. What was it like playing 2 games every week? Do you believe this has you uniquely prepared to go back to the outdoor game if you get the call?
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, playing 2 games a day, you definitely gotta be in good shape, and definitely out there. Definitely was during the week conditioning more, and definitely after practice was getting those cross field gassers in. Yeah, definitely feels more prepared to be outside. And
But now's a good time for me to play some of your highlights and show exactly what kind of conditioning shape you're in. So I'm going to go ahead and pop on one of these videos that I brought on. Go ahead and mute this so we can keep talking. I mean, you move for your size, you move very well. I mean, it wouldn't shock me to see an NFL team put you in different positions if they need it. I mean, maybe playing some goal line fullback like we saw Don Terry Poe do a couple years ago or something like that. But I mean, to me, you're an unbelievable athlete.
thank you, I appreciate it. Definitely work hard at it, and yeah, like you said, that's what it is, all about hands, feet, and that's what I wanted to demonstrate on this video. So that was most important that, and definitely in the next few weeks I'll get a new one to update it. So the XFL and USFL, CFL, NFL, whatever league gives me an opportunity, they'll be able to see me moving like that now, still doing that. So I'll definitely get more clips out there so we could update that for this year and show how well I'm still moving at my age.
Agreed. And here's another video. These are older, for the record. These are both from a couple years back, but I felt they were still very relevant and wanted to show them for people while we're talking. So, having played offensive line in the arena game, do you think this helped you develop as a player, given the close quarters, the speed of the game that we talked about?
Yeah, definitely arena, definitely like the speed of the game, and definitely helped me with the quick set, because that's all that's about the IFL is a lot of quick sets and holding it up. So definitely on my pass pro, definitely with my hands, you got to be very aggressive with your hands. So it taught me just like the outdoor game, you got to still be very aggressive with your hands and quick feet and hands, and taught me how to get out there really fast and be explosive. So definitely that awareness in the indoor game relates to the outdoor game, because you definitely got to be very on top of your game with your hands and feet.
Definitely. And I don't know if everybody saw that. I'm going to rewind this video real quick. I want to point something out that I just saw. You're over here on the right-hand side, correct?
Yep.
Oh, sorry. It's actually this next play. If you look, you can see you lift up your left hand and point to somebody, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's the next play. I might have gone a little bit too far back, but it's almost like you're telling the guard, hey, watch that guy. He's coming inside. I got this outside guy. Don't worry about the double team. I got this, which in my eyes is kind of, a good thing to have on the offensive line. You've got a guy that obviously knows where the play is going. He's trying to help his team by taking on that one-on-one matchup and showing that, look, you get the inside guy, give him the cutback lane, and we're going to burst this play for a big one.
Yep, and the double team there.
Definitely. So
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, had to get the end there, reach him for that hole for the running back, and it worked out good.
definitely. So we have talked a lot about your desire to play in the USFL or the XFL next season. What draws you to these leagues?
Like we talked about, I'm not gonna go to any league just I love the game of football, and I'll probably, I look into all opportunities, but these opportunities, especially right now with the XFL, I feel like if the XFL is gonna be successful, it's gonna be now with the Rock, biggest star in the world, and just not even that, just he has the football background, national championship Miami, Seattle, and this is one he really wants to get done because this hits home for him as well as being the guy that he was like he always wears the jersey 54, and he's going to do everything he could do in his blood, sweat, and tears to get this done. So it's going to be very successful, and just get out there. And I just feel like I'm XFL guy. I was made for the XFL. Just to get a couple years in there would be amazing. And with all my hard work and everything, I think I'd be a great fit for any team, tackle or guard. And they teach me what schemes they want get done. I'll get it done. Not too many guys like me are growing on trees, 6'9", 350. I could, teach me what you want to run, and I'll get it done. Just you don't even got to teach me. Tell me what you want to run, and I'll get it done. So XFL is just like it's going to be very successful this come around. I think it's going to be around for a bit. So this is definitely something I would want to get into, and in just seeing even if it's not the XFL and USFL has opportunity, and they proved the doubters wrong. They had a good year, and everything. I watched some games on TV, it looked legit, and that's something I would want to be part of. So if there's opportunity there, and they sign for season 2, like I said, now at my age, I just want to be part of something that's successful, and they're both going to be successful. So that's something I want to be part of, and like for them, just not every guy they're going to get is going to be my size and just my knowledge and been around the game. And I'm not here to BS. I'm here to get in, get the job done, and let's go win some games.
Absolutely. Definitely, it looks like both the XFL and the USFL have a good foundation. And I am a firm believer that there's a large place for spring football in this world. And it's only a matter of time before fans of football really start getting involved in both of these leagues. I mean, the XFL in 2020 had a dramatic amount of support behind it. People were really, hurt when the league shut down due to COVID. And I personally think if COVID never happens, XFL is still going to this day. Just curious, do you believe that would be the case?
Yeah, XFL. The crowd was packed. We're talking, the game DC, the snake. Those games looked insane, and definitely, I think there again the viewers, not even the viewers, the attendance was through the roof, and yeah, I definitely agree. If COVID didn't hit, it would be no restart. I think it would have been still going. With the Rock might have got involved. I wouldn't be surprised if he would have got involved by now if it was still going.
Yeah, agreed. It was kind of interesting to see The Rock buy the league from Vince McMahon. I mean, obviously they've got a prior relationship, so I mean, I don't want to say this is the same ownership group because it's not, but I don't think that we're going to see them stray too far away from the product that we saw in XFL 2020.
No, yeah, definitely. The Rock's gonna take it. I'm not saying it was bad product in 2020, but just to be like the Rock's gonna take it over to the next level of what it needs to be, and that's to stay and to be awesome. So I just feel like what he was doing, it was good product in 2020, and they had good operations, but like you said, they don't want to be ordinary. They want to be elite, and I think the Rock's just going to take it to the next level where it's elite and it's going to be staying for a while. So it's going to be quite interesting, and I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully I'll be on the field to showcase it.
Yeah, I definitely hope so as well. One of the things we talked about off camera just a couple moments ago is the fact that we haven't seen a lot of offensive line invites. But with that being said, we also both spoke about the fact that the NFL cuts are coming up. So that's probably going to be right where we start seeing a lot of these invites go out. And I really think that we're going to see the entire draft class cemented by the end of September anyway. So hopefully here soon you get that draft invite and you can show The Rock just how big you are in person once again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah. Like you said, not to just staying with my workouts and whatever's to come. Just gotta don't get ready, staying ready. So Big Joe will be ready to go no matter what league it is, and if it's XFL, USFL, CFL, NFL, I'll be ready for the opportunity 100%.
Absolutely. So I'm curious, what was your favorite part of the FCF from a player's perspective?
Yeah, it was just like you said, and engaging with the fans, and like you said, it's definitely like you said, it was just cool seeing. We always get ears in the ear from the fans that should have ran this, should have did that, and now it's like, what can you say now? You're calling my plays. So so it's always fun engaging with the fans. Like some players are always criticizing the fans in this, but hey, without the fans, there's none of us have a job. So that's what the fans are. Any league, USFL, NFL, CFL, everything. So, but now they're actually super engaged and calling the plays. So I'm exciting. It's definitely 2022 has definitely changed and giving the fans opportunity to stay engaged. And I like to see it because that's what they like. And so if you're what's keeping us around is the fans, and you're giving them an opportunity that's been never done before. So I'm happy to see it.
Agreed. That's one of the big things that I think makes the FCF so fun to watch is they are all about fan engagement. I mean, I interviewed Patrick Dees a while back, and he seems like a genuinely nice guy. I mean, he talks about it over and over again in our interview about how the fans make this world go. So I love hearing that from you as well. It's nice to hear that players realize without the fans, there wouldn't be these leagues. So opportunity is abound in 2023, and a big reason why is because we have more support for football than ever before.
Definitely, and like you said, the fans just keep going. So, what more better way to get them involved in what you're doing, and then it's just going to be more successful with more fans being wanted to do it.
Definitely. So I told you all who are watching that we would be speaking about all the different leagues that Joe played in and how they compare to each other. So this is that time. You've played in the NFL, the AFL, the YCF, the IFL, and later the FCF during your career. During this stretch, how was your love of the game kind of changed by each different league that you played for?
Yeah, you find out, once you get that NFL cut, you find out if you really love the game, find out really quick if this is you or not, and then obviously it was down for a bit, but I like you said, I learned quick in the NFL. I always kept that grit from the coaches that coached me in the NFL, and I just never gave up. So if you asked me when I got cut, would I still be playing today? That'd be a hard answer, but I found out quick. I really loved the game after that because if I didn't, I would still wouldn't be going today. So definitely love the game of football and excited to keep going and got many years left in me. Healthy, no injuries, in shape. Like I said, you can't teach what I got. 6'9" 350, and just healthy as an ox, ready to go.
There you go. So I'm curious. This might be kind of a hard question to answer because no player wants to admit to having flaws. But what are some of criticisms of your game that you feel you've already corrected or you're working to correct at this point in your career?
Just bending now. I'm always gonna say, I'm always gonna get you too high. Obviously, I'm already too high. I'm 6'9". It's a great thing, but it's a curse at the same time. So I've been doing a lot of yoga lately, flexibility and bending in my knees, and working on my feet work and hands. So that's never could do so much of that. So like you said, just playing in a arena in FCF, just working on my hands and bending and feet work. So that's what I've been working on a lot, and that's what teams are always critiquing. So I'll be ready to go with that, and just every day, probably doing lately 3 times a week of yoga, and just hitting it with my strength coach. Basically all those drills you just saw in those videos, just hitting those about every time, and I'll get some updated ones of me in 2022 and show you how well I'm doing. I'll get that in the next week or two. So, and then they could go off what they think. So.
Definitely. Well, make sure when you get it to let me know, and I'll share it around as well. And maybe we can even kind of do a little bit of a comparison, 4 years ago to now, and show you exactly how much you've progressed over that time.
Definitely. So those XFL and USFL and any league out there could see what Big Joe's still ready to go, and they won't be disappointed for giving me an opportunity for sure.
100%. So one last question. What do you consider are the biggest strengths you bring to your team?
Obviously, like you said, I've been going at it, and just my knowledge and veteran presence, and that I could get with the young guns, and mentally and physically and technique wise, I could give a couple pointers here and there, and just with my size overall and my strength, long arms and big body, and just in what I could do, tackle and guard, and like you said, needed emergency to play nose tackle. So you're gonna get a little of everything from me, just not one thing of knowledge, strength, and just big body guy that's healthy and shape and just ready to learn. Even at my age, ready to learn. Like I said, everyone has a different system. They want to teach me what they want to do for that. I'll get it done. So I'm a quick learner and just ready to go and kick some butt.
Agreed. So I said that was the last question, but there was actually one thing I forgot to bring up that I really, really feel is part of what you bring with you as a human being and as a man. And that's the fact that I recently saw that you were mentoring children. And I wanted to highlight that because I think that showcases exactly what type of guy you are off the field. I mean, if you want a guy who's going to do the right things, act the right way, be out there in the community, helping the community, helping build fan base with your players, then look no further, because Big Joe's going to be out there. He's going to be doing these camps with the kids. He's going to be out there, shaking fans' hands and stuff like that. And that's going to be huge for a league like the XFL or the USFL that are looking to build this fan base. So I definitely wanted to highlight that. And I wanted to ask you how that all came about.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. I got to work at college camp, and just being at Coastal, one of my old coaches, he was a GA when I was at Coastal, and he's a defensive coordinator at Utica University, and I'm originally from Utica, and I happened to be in town. He asked me if I want to work a kids camp while I was in town, and just to give back, and that's my hometown, just to give back all the kids from the area, and I went to high school there, and it was awesome. Yeah, we went at 3-4 days, 4 hours a day, and yeah, we got after it. Those kids were working, and it's a great opportunity, and my buddy is the new defensive coordinator at Utica University, and I appreciate him having that, Coach Jamie. And then they call each other Fear the Moose, Utica University. So I hope they have a great year this year, and looking forward to seeing him get it done. And like you said, just me being everywhere, and just meeting all these people. So that could be something down the road to get into coaching. But yeah, I definitely that's what I'm always told. My presence just being a fan engagement and being there for the kids, and like you said, I'll definitely 100% do that and then some for franchise. I'll be that guy for sure out in the public.
Exactly, and that's something you bring to these leagues that they need to weigh into as well. Because I mean, you want to build a fan base, you want to build fan interaction. What better way to do it than with the kids? I mean, if you've got a bunch of kids telling their parents, "Hey, I want to go see this game because Big Joe's there, and he coached me at this camp," then chances are they're going to go to that game. I'm a parent. I know exactly how it works. You try to keep your kids happy, and this is one of the situations that I really liked as a parent. I mean, you're out there doing it because you love the game and because you want to pass it down to another generation. I mean, it's not like, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're not getting paid to go do these events for them, right? I mean, you're doing this on your own accord.
Yep. For the love and giving back. Maybe I didn't have the opportunity to embrace, so they can embrace better than what I had.
Agreed. And that's just, like I said, showcases the kind of human being you are and the kind of man you are. So once again, man, I really appreciate you coming on. I hope nothing but success in your future, and I really think that we're going to see that XFL draft invite come your way very quickly.
All right, appreciate you. Thanks for having me on, and appreciate all the letting people know about Big Joe. The Big Joe show is ready to go, and appreciate you having me on the show. I wish you nothing but success and nothing less on here, and keep up the good work. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it, and we'll definitely have to chop it up in the future. Hopefully, right after you get that XFL draft invite.
Yes, sir. Let's get it. Thanks again, Big Joe. We're ready to go. Let's get it.
Absolutely. Have a great rest of your day, man, and I will catch you later.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
Absolutely. So once again, guys, that was Big Joe Kaleta. This man is, like I said, not only is he a good man off the field, but he's a good player. He's a guy that you want to root for more often than not. I mean, he's just a good dude. I've talked to him for months off camera now, and ultimately, like I said, I'm a big fan. I'm a fan of him as a man, as a player, because of the way he approaches the game. I mean, I think that we discount the guys who approach the game the right way more than we should, because it's those guys out there progressing the game as a whole and passing it down to the next generation. And without that next generation jumping into football, eventually these leagues are going to die. And we don't want that to happen. I want year-round football in 2023 and beyond. I don't want less football. So with that being said, I've got a saying here on Shady Sports Network, and that's support all football. So if you're a football fan of the NFL, you need to be out there checking out these leagues, the USFL, the XFL, the FCF, the IFL, the NAL, the CIF. All of these leagues have great players, and they have lots to offer fans. With that being said, I am going to call it a day on this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Joe Kaleta is, like I said, a hell of a man and a guy you definitely want to root for. So go check out his highlights. Go check out everything that he's got going on off the field as well. And I know for sure I'll be looking up the episode of The Ballers that he was on to see exactly how that went. I watched the whole series before, but I can't really remember exactly where he was at. So I'm going to have to go rewatch everything to make sure I can catch that as well. With that being said, have a great afternoon, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.